I kind of changed the lighting, so I don't know what it looks like. But I noticed that the lights, by the end of the time, usually when I'm done talking, I can't even see the phone anymore. My eyes are so horrible. And like yesterday, I keep having these horrible headaches. So yesterday, I'm just gonna, because my eyes strain so hard. It's not the same as like when you like squint to try and see. It's like my eyes keep straining to see because there's so much stuff in them and I can't see past it. And I think it gives me a really bad headache. So yesterday I felt like a total blind person. I put on my sunglasses. I thought, oh, maybe I'll just have to go around and start wearing sunglasses. And I get the whole, blind person wearing sunglasses thing. But I put them on for a couple hours or maybe an hour. And oh my gosh, it felt so much better. My head stopped hurting for a while. So, and I just, the lights really bother them. So anyways, I don't know what this light's like. It's super early because I'm going to go, we're going to go to town. And it's so funny because, this whole thing has been going for so long, be prepared, be prepared. And it has gone on so long. That's like, you have your stuff. Like I had my stuff a long time ago. And then every time you have like your regular food and it gets down to like, cause you think, oh, it'll be soon. And then you have to just keep going back to the store and back to the store and back to the store. And it's like, oh, and it seems like you just go quicker and quicker. Like, oh my gosh, better go. Cause yesterday they checked the test. I went to the lake for a while and I didn't get the test on my phone. And so I don't know if every area did it, but definitely my mom got the test. And it says, and from what I understood, the whole test was kind of one side saying to the other, either do what we're saying to do right now, like surrender, or we're going live. And so, I don't know, today we could, tomorrow, I just feel like I got to be prepared because, yeah, you don't know what these people will do to shut everything down or to what, links they'll go. I mean, already there's being people showing up at ATMs and there's no money in them and stuff because there's no more money in it. Oh, one of my daughters even paid off her car. I cannot believe how many people I know who've paid off their cards. I was like, oh my God, you guys are funding criminals. People just don't listen. It's so annoying. And but this is one thing that was really getting. I watched Odin's, but I cannot find anything to watch. If you go in and you watch any kind of thing, the YouTube is flooded right now. And like I said before, I thought maybe the white hats or something is flooding this information of on YouTube all of a sudden. Like there's so many. And I've gone in and looked at like what's their oldest videos, when did they start and stuff, because so many of them pretend like they're this certain person's station. And most of them are all Asian writing, some kind of, I'm not sure which one, but is that kind of writing. And it's old videos of different stuff. And so then I was like, well, could they have taken over these channels, or these people just, they were doing their own channels, then all of a sudden we're like, oh, we could make more money if we went in and, because it's a lot of work. I mean, they go on to like Telegram, all sorts of different platforms and get these videos, and then they get different parts of videos. So they got to listen to a lot of videos to get the information they're sharing. So it seems like a lot for just a person to be doing, but I don't know. Everybody has their own videos they make. But so I can't handle watching any of those right now because it feels so frenetic. It just feels like everybody's like, oh, and we know everything's about to go. So I just like, I pull back from all that stuff. And plus so much of it is repeat, like so much stuff. Once you know, you just have to trust and know your inner truth, And but I watched the Odin's Men thing this morning. I have so many of those pop up. He must have a ton. He only started like a month before I did. and I don't know like if he had a presence on another platform beforehand, but his thing has grown a lot. He has tons of followers and stuff and tons of views on his things, but they're so wackadoo. And this one I was watching today, he was saying, like he had no idea before going on TikTok that these people were out there, you know, and I didn't. I mean, like he kind of knew like a little bit, but not, I mean, it really, his thing really opened your eyes, man, to this whole other part of our culture that so many of us are totally unaware of. And it's just, it's nutty. And, but one of the things, they're always talking about entitlement and privilege and stuff like that, because they're the saviors of the world. And I just think it's so funny that they can talk about it. And this is what I see all the time, these people who talk with their feet in their mouth and don't even have any idea. But I can't imagine the privilege and entitlement that you must feel to feel that you, at 20 or 30, maybe even 40 years old, has got more knowledge, experience, understanding of the world than somebody who is almost double your age. I mean, it just boggles my fucking mind. These people, talk about entitlement and privilege. To think that they know all of this stuff, that all of this life experience, that those of us who are older, I don't know. I guess we all just, we didn't exist until, what's going on here. I don't know. Their whole thing is so skewed. They're so, that zombie mentality. It reminds me of the zombies, the voodoo zombies. They're just told what to do. They're just like, no fucking clue. Just tell them information. I love Popeye. I love Popeye. It's like, that's what they remind me of. It's like so ridiculous. And I just feel like that there's so many, yesterday when I was talking about the state state of affairs with the old people, and, or is it the sad state of affairs? Whichever, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Is with the old people, all, that they've really been hit hard by the big pharma and, I think a lot of the toxins and stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe, I'm sure by the time you get to that age, especially if you haven't taken really good care of yourself, that the toxins and stuff are gonna, done you in. And then all of that, the smoking cigarettes and alcohol and stuff. But there's a lot of really sickly older people. And, as far as I'm concerned, they're trying to kill them off. That's how they control history. And, when you think back about in the Bible, and I don't know of all the other ones, but I'm sure. But I just remember always them talking about people were living like 700, 900 years old and stuff like that. And then it's like, well, what the hell happened? I thought it was way dangerous back then. I thought they were, how are they living so long? We can't even barely make it to 60 without having some chronic disease or need a fucking boatload of pills to get through the day. So, I don't know. To me, the older people are just, they're being killed off on purpose. And there's a reason why they've shortened. Now, supposedly, our life expectancy has gotten longer, but, I think that just means that they turn it up a little bit. Kill them faster. Like right now, we can see what they're doing. They're trying to kill us as fast as they can. But, that they can control history by controlling the narrative, but you kill off the people who can tell you anything. And so to me, I was talking about that yesterday, but I feel like that there's a really much more of a significant impact that people who are my age, even if we're 50, 60, 70, anybody who has knowledge of our history, we've got to speak out. We've got to not let these kids think that they understand the world when they don't understand it. It is just, it's so maddening, and how arrogant they are, and self-righteous and narcissistic. I mean, they're preaching about, they are the most narcissistic. This group of kids that are coming up, and I know it's created, they do this to create they create like it's an experiment. Some of it's social experiment. So they create like how it's going to be during that time by creating this directing. They direct the kids in a certain way, like we see them what they're doing right now, completely directing them so that they can form this society. Well, they've done it for a really long time. Yesterday we were watching this movie called Cherry. Oh my God. It said it was like a crime thriller. So I like crime thrillers. I love cop shows, I don't like cop shows. I like I like mysteries. I like where somebody has to solve something and the bad guy gets what he deserves. So the watching that movie Cherry, it was, oh my God, it was super I would not classify it as a crime thriller at all. I would classify it as a trauma drama. It was very dramatic, and but it had stuff about the war, and I'm pretty sure it was Desert Storm, and how some of those guys were affected. And I knew some people who had husbands and stuff that were in that, and I knew that they did give them a bunch of chemicals, and that a lot of the guys did come back and go mental. And I know that happened with my uncle with the Agent Orange in Vietnam. And, when you're a soldier, to go in right away, like in this, you got 10 of them immediately. Like they're constantly testing these things on these people. And, and look at what they've done to them. And then they take these young guys in. And in this one, it was so horrible. Oh, the whole story. I mean, if you need a traumatic event or you need to understand how horrible war is, go watch Cherry. And, he's going in as a medic, and he had no idea what that meant. And having to run in while they're being bombed, grabbing out bodies and grabbing out people to try and save them and stuff, while you're getting shot at and bombed and stuff. Like you are, oh my gosh, it's very intense. And you're seeing people get killed all the time. And I know over in that one, I had heard about that when they would do those bombs, they would put excrement. They would put shit in the actual bombs, so that when they would go off, that the shit would go in, like the shrapnel would go out and it would go in. And they use this stuff that cut off limbs of a lot of the soldiers. A lot of soldiers lost limbs in it, but they also had shit in it. So when it exploded and go into them, it would get like sepsis, these really bad infections and stuff. So it was really horrible. In Vietnam, and they did it in a different way. But when you think about, like, that is the same fucking people doing this over and over and over. And always to the young men, and always to destroy our society, to keep human beings controlled, and that's, now we are in a war, but we're in the war with who we're supposed to be in the war with. It's the ones who kept us in all the wars, who've done all of this stuff to destroy us. And it's just really, sad to just, when you think about to what ends they will go to destroy us. I'll be back in a minute.